This is the CMF Headphone Pro, a budget noise cancelling headphone from Nothing's baby company, CMF. I bought it 3 months ago for $100, but you can get it for $80 now on Amazon. There's plenty of reviews on YouTube saying how good they are for the price. They are not wrong. It's pretty good. However, it's not perfect. 2 software updates later, and I'm still dealing with dual connectivity issues, lack of a status light to indicate when it's on. Heck, it'll stay on till the battery dies if you forget to turn it off. No head detection, EQ customization is limited, but I still have it. And I use it every day. Till I tried my sister's headphones for a week. Now I wonder, would it have been better to buy a used premium headphone for the same price? Premium headphones like the Bose Quiet Comforts or the Sony XM4s were some of the best noise-cancelling headphones you could buy in 2022. They had a lot of useful features, the sound quality was top tier, so much that they could compete today with premium headphones, and they are much cheaper to buy now. On the other hand, budget headphones are getting better every year, gaining improvements in sound quality, noise cancelling, design, and comfort. To see if these improvements have elevated today's budget headphones to be on par with premium headphones from a few years back, I got my sister's Sony XM5s to compare with my CMF Headphone Pro. I'll be comparing them based on design and comfort, controls, sound quality, noise cancelling, mic quality, battery life, and extra features. The design is nice, it looks good. I like the idea of the removable ear cups. They're pretty cool, a very neat idea. Love that. These are soft touch. The cups, the rear of the cups, the back of the cups, it's a soft touch plastic. The problem with these is they're already scratching. I move around a lot, but I work on cars primarily, and I use this when I work on cars. I keep wondering if this would last long. Meanwhile, on the Sonys, my sister has had this since forever. Sort of, they have faded a little bit, but not as much as this. This is like, you could see scratches here. This is just sort of fading, and the moment you clean them, they become nice and new again. The clamping force is a lot, so you don't feel it the first time you put it on. If you use this for a long time, let's say 2, 3, 4 hours, you start feeling uncomfortable because of the force it's exerting on your head. Compared to these, I've used it for 6 hours straight. I don't feel anything. Premium headphones from a few years ago often provide more comfort. They also tend to look and feel better than today's budget options. But would that be the case when it comes to their controls? The best thing about the CMF headphone is the controls. They are great to use. On one side, you have the bass slider. That's pretty cool, nifty trick. The volume and playback control is like the best thing here. It's basically the volume, you roll it to increase the volume and decrease the volume. You press it to play and pause, and you double tap it to move forward, triple tap to move backward. Simple controls. I love how they integrated all the controls into this dial. Everything else is simple buttons, no touch interface. The most frustrating thing about using the XM5s is the controls. For example, the volume and the forward and backward controls, they clash for me. When I try to change the volume, in some cases, it changes the track. Very annoying. And when you even change the volume, you gotta do this aggressive, this thing where you're like, annoying. Meanwhile, on the CMF, I could just roll and it goes up. That's great. When it comes to sound quality between these two, I would say, according to my normie ears, I'm no audiophile, I'll say that right now, they don't sound too far apart. The EQ here is restricted, as I have mentioned earlier. But what I was able to do, or what I managed to do, and in my testing, I did the same thing to the XM5s. What I did was flatten out the EQ across the board. So basically set everything, the highs, the mids, the lows, everything you can set to 0 on the custom profile of this. Same thing on the custom settings for this one. And then what you can do is in the individual app you use, like for example, I primarily use Spotify both for music and for podcasts, and then used the Spotify presets. the EQ presets to see if they sound at least close enough to each other. And truly, they do sound alike. Not too much difference. The only thing I would say is the sound stage on the XM5 is just a little bit better than that of the Headphone Pro. The need to jump through hoops for better EQ presets makes the Headphone Pro less appealing in this situation. Noise cancelling on premium headphones beats any budget option. For example, the XM5 has 8 microphones, while the Headphone Pro uses 4 mics for noise cancelling. This gives the Sony XM5 an edge in noise cancelling, a better transparency mode, and clearer speech in calls. Here's how. So now I know I'm recording. I had already recorded a sound clip earlier using my phone's voice notes, and I forgot to press record on the camera. So I did an entire monologue without the camera capturing it. Yeah. I'm sure by now you can hear the difference between the two sound clips. The Sony XM5s are leaps and bounds ahead of anything budget offerings can throw in at you. When I buy used or refurbished gadgets, I know the battery won't be as good as new. That said, the battery life on the Headphone Pro is impressive. It offers 100 hours of playback without ANC and 50 hours with ANC. In comparison, the Sony XM5 has 40 hours without ANC and 30 hours with it. However, even 2 years after launch, the XM5 still holds a lot of charge. I tested it and charged the XM5 only once. It lasted the whole week, ending with 30% battery left. Overall, the Headphone Pro still has better battery life than the XM5. The Headphone Pro lacks some features of the XM5. You won't find adaptive sound control, speak-to-chat, head detection, wireless high-res audio, or full EQ customization on most budget headphones. Still, the Headphone Pro performs pretty well. It offers high-res and spatial audio, multi-point connectivity, and IPX2 water resistance. My favorite feature is the bass slider. It is a game changer for me. I listen to various music genres on the go, and the bass slider lets me adjust the sound without reaching for my phone. This ease of use makes the Headphone Pro competitive with older premium headphones despite missing some high-end features. Alright, so in conclusion, the result is clearly obvious. After testing these headphones, I would choose buying used premium headphones any day. But my favorite wouldn't be the Sony XM5, mainly due to the hinge durability issues and its neutral sound. Instead, I prefer the previous generation XM4. It offers better sound quality, better bass, has a sturdier build, and folds for easy storage. Plus, it's cheaper when bought used or refurbished, making it a great option compared to today's new budget models.